Poem 1, Dust of Snow, written by Robert Frost, translated and described by Ashutosh Singh. Morning everyone. Well, this is a poem, Dust of Snow, written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost, as we all know, was a poet who has written many beautiful poetry in English. Actually, Robert Frost was born in he was an American poet, but what happened when he has written in his earlier phase, he was not at all welcomed by the publishers of America, and as a result, he had to move to New England, and where he had got popularity. But despite having popularity in New England, Robert Frost was somewhere troubled by the thought that he has not got his freedom, he has not got his popularity in his own motherland. Later on, he returned back and became a master of the poetry over there. He has created several beautiful poetry. Some of the poetry which you have even read in Standard Ninth also, like The Road Not Taken or Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, are some of the beautiful pieces written by Robert Frost. Well, this present piece of poem, Dust of Snow, is also a very beautiful presentation or representation of poet's mastery, that how he symbolizes the two words crow and a hemlock tree, which are the symbols of illness or ill omens, we can say. He used this thing in a auspicious way in order to promote or in order to quote you can say beautifully portray the inauspicious thing, bringing joy and happiness also. The poem, The way a crow sat down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had wrote. Now let us figure out first the rhyme scheme of the poem. And the rhyme scheme of the poem is, at first we will find that crow, the last word is a, so down on me, crow, me. The word are not rhyming, so hence here we will put B. But in the third line, crow and snow, they both rhyme together, and as a result, it will be A, B, A. Me rhymes with tree, so A, B, A, B. And has given my heart a change of mood. So over here, it is another paragraph, and another letter should be appointed for that. A change of mood. Heart and mood does not rhyme, but heart and part somewhere rhymes, and mood and root change. So overall, the rhyme scheme of the poem is, yes, A B A B and C D C D. The poem uses many symbols like crow and hemlock, both hemlock tree, which is considered as a poisonous tree, whereas the voice of the crow is also not regarded good. So when we are discussing about these symbols, these write-ups, the poet tells us about how these pensive things, how these ill things, or you can say the things which are not welcome, they are considered inauspicious, they even are capable of providing or portraying, changing the mood from a sad one to the happy one. Now let us read the text in detail and try to understand the text. The way a crow swooped down on me. The way, the poet exclaims that the way in which a crow swooped down on me means the poem is written in somewhat autobiographical tone also. The poet himself is feeling saddened, and that's why he says, the way a crow swooped down on me. A crow has taken something. What is that? The dust of snow from a hemlock tree, and that dust of snow has fallen from the hemlock tree. It has brought a change in the heart of the poet, and as well as a change of mood. That dust of snow is capable of providing a change of mood from in the heart of the poet, or even it has brought. The poet says, and said some part of a day I had ruled. The poet is somewhere troubled by some pensive thoughts, some penalizing thoughts, some sad thoughts. But suddenly, when the dust of snow is second by the crow, which is considered as an inauspicious bird, from a hemlock tree, which itself is a toxic tree, which produces poisonous fruits. So he says how that dust of snow had changed his mood. However, whatever sad thoughts are running in his mind, it is unknown to everyone, but somewhere it has the falling of that dust of snow has brought a great change in the poet's mindset. The poem is set in a scene where the poet is in a bad mood and is walking by a tree. He is walking by a tree. So the poet is walking by a tree, and that tree is a hemlock tree. It is a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is, as I have already told you, hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. Now, as he passes by, a crow throws some snow on him, and when it falls on his head and shoulder, he actually, there is nothing mentioned whether it falls on him or not. It is not specifically mentioned in the poem, but even the readers are left in doubt why the birds about the bird's action, whether the crow was landing, shivering with cold, or just adjusting itself on the branch or taking off. But somehow the snow had, some particles of snow had fallen on earth, and hence the two agents of nature, that is the hemlock tree and the crow, which are signifiers of sadness, had and you can say sadness or pensiveness or gloom, or you can say worry, they have changed the poet's mood. Actually, the poet is having some sad mood for some unknown reason. There is nothing, no any proper reason for his sadness, and as a result, as he is saddened by the thoughts, there is no any proper reason. So he was having a terrible day, but as the falling of the snow has brought his mood, brought a change in his mood has lifted instantly, and he said that it had saved some part of the day which he had already disturbed. So the negative references are used by poet in a beautiful way to portray and portray that they are also capable of bringing happiness in someone's life. Now let us come to find rhetorical devices, means the figures of speech used in the following poem, and we will find there are a number of figures of speech used in this poem. At first we will begin with the alliteration. There are repetition of several sounds or letters in the word, like when we see "soak down on me," the way a crow soaked down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood. It has brought a change in the mood of the poet, and that's why the poet says so. The poet over here refers has given my heart, has given my heart. You can see there are two letters. H is repeated continuously, and hence it is an alliteration. In the same way, said some part, S is also repeated in the same way. It is alliteration. Apart from alliteration, sometimes the sentences are inverted, or you can say it is changed by the poet to create rhyme. This poetic license is known as inversion, and over here inversion is also used in the whole stanza. In the first stanza you can say the way a crow swooped down on me, the dust of snow, means the lines are written in such a way that they should create a poetic refrain, and that's why they are also known as inversion. Is it clear? Now the third one is assonance. The third one is assonance. We can find the repetition of some sounds, like the way the word has been repeated, "Sook down on me," "Sook down on me." You can find the O sound is prominent everywhere, means the repetition of same sound is there in the sentence, and that's why the O sound is prominent, and that's why assonance is also there. Apart from that, we have enjambment. It is another figure of speech in which a sentence is written in same sentence is written in continuing in next line without the use of any punctuation mark. If you look at the particular poem, you will find that there are no proper punctuation mark in the stanza, and that's why enjambment is there. Means a sentence is repeated in the second line even also without having any punctuation mark. It is called as enjambment. Now students, go through the poem, read the poem, try to find out any error in it, try to find out any question from it, and whatever confusions you are having, you can ask me. I'll provide you the notes of this chapter even also along with the assignments. Do the assignments and send it to me directly. Don't forget to subscribe the channel.